Hi everybody! Sorry, I got an update on my phone and I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to put people, well, I might have to, but. How's everybody doing tonight?
I feel like this is a song she's not heard before.
I got an update on my phone and I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to put people, well, I might have to. Should I put it up or down? The tear up. How's everybody doing tonight? And to turn the whole thing.
I don't know, just turn it a little bit.
I might have to excuse myself for a minute. Yeah, push that stuff all up there. Sorry, I was doing some journaling out at this table. I'm not feeling the best. I feel like I'm coming down with the flu or something. I don't know.
Oh, now I come back in and now she's gonna end. It's the last song. Catching the tail end of my Elvis Girls live, so.
Yeah, kind of. Hi, Maurice.
Hi,
how you doing? Thanks for coming in, Mo. Yeah, I've been under the weather. I can't even spell. And it all had to do with my tooth. I think my last video was on that. And I'm kind of slowly getting over that. And now it feels like I'm coming down with the flu. Like a throat thing or something. I don't know.
Henry's battling some kind of cold.
I gotta subscribe to my own channel.
I don't think you can subscribe to your own channel, can you?
I said subscribe. Good to see you too, Mo. So yeah, I've seen so many, and I think I sent them to you last night about that hamburger.
Oh yes.
I don't know that, and I've noticed. Well, one of my friends told me something about these restaurants are giving. Well, it was
you sent me that right after we stopped at McDonald's when we got back into town.
Caitlin told me,
and I was like, I'm sitting there looking at your videos eating my hamburger, and I'm like, thanks, Mom. Thanks.
Well, it was National Hamburger Day the other day, and One of a Kind Vlogs told me that in his area they were selling or giving out free hamburgers. And I've been hearing on an app of mine that McDonald's is buy one, get one free. And last night I was scrolling through TikTok and it said, don't buy the hamburgers, don't buy the meat. The government's doing something to the meat that's making you sick. And he said, and then the other guy said, it's not in the hamburger. I sent you that one too.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
I've watched Elvis stuff since then.
So, I definitely don't put my confidence in the government like I used to. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because I don't want to get in trouble. It's craziness. And we all know it. If we're living, if we're living right. And I mean, I don't watch the news. I used to watch it faithfully every night, and it got to where it was like, really? You're reporting on that? And it was crazy. And pizza's here.
How are you? Good. Henry, grab Oscar, please.
Or just go out there and close the door.
Thank you.
So,
There's that.
yeah. say don't set it on top of that. Here you go.
I'm smarter than that. I'm gonna grease it with paper.
So, yeah, and if you watch any videos on
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Lahaina, Maui, don't do that, Henry.
I hope they got
Um,
right.
Yeah,
What?
Are you hungry?
it's really strange over there because I watched a guy other day. He had his drone, and he was going through like down Front Street in Lahaina, and that's like the ocean front. And he had
Tonight?
Yes.
he had a drone, and he took, and like everything from, well, the ocean, you know, but everything was like destroyed. And then all of a sudden you see this big complex thing. It looked like a grocery store to me, and he said what it was, and it wasn't touched. Everything around it was completely destroyed, but this building wasn't touched.
And this is my plate.
And where he lived is like a subdivision.
I'll get my pizza.
Where he lived, it wasn't touched, but
Yep.
right across the
And we
street,
got our pizza right.
it was totally destroyed. And I don't understand. And I know the wind and stuff has to do with the fire, but it's like I don't know, like people, like I don't know, like people knew it was coming and they prepared for it.
Love that piece.
But how do they know it was coming? And how does the governor say we're not going to build back Lahaina? Well, certain things we're going to build back Lahaina, and then I heard it was
Henry.
it was going to become a green city, like totally
Oh, pour that in.
self-sufficient, and now that's,
Hey, you keep it in the bottle.
so to say, up in smoke, so to speak, you know. And it's still beautiful, the ocean. He was doing the drone. Did I say droid? Drone over the
Not the
ocean.
droids you're looking for.
And the ocean is beautiful. And then in the background where the fire didn't get up in the mountains, it's just beautiful. And then he did
Show my other Jago?
Sure. He did a pan from Lahaina out in the ocean, and there was like mountains, and I'm sure it was the other islands, and it's still pretty over there, but it just, like, some of the stuff just completely destroyed, and other stuff.
Henry.
The one guy said that
Get out of my purse, you goof.
there's one grocery store, I think he said it was a Safeway, I'm not for sure, but it was the
I'm
same.
having one to blow my nose.
I got Kleenexes over here, buddy.
Okay.
You don't have to blow it with paper towel. So, yeah, one grocery store, I think he said it was a Safeway, they have reopened, and that was like the only grocery store there. So enough about that. I had my rant a couple weeks ago about Lahaina and what the government isn't doing there. And what they didn't do there is just crazy.
Sorry, y'all. I'm usually against eating on camera, but Henry and I decided to take a nap instead of eat lunch, and I'm starving.
So how's everybody tonight? How was your week? How was your
everybody at?
Saturday? I don't know where everybody's at. What are you all having for dinner? Obviously, we're having pizza.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I was thinking earlier about something for dinner. I've been thinking all week. I was thinking other night at work, Thursday night, meatloaf and mashed potatoes and green beans sound really good. And I was going to get the stuff to make it, but I called off work yesterday, Friday. I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. My stomach was upset, and I did something to kind of rectify that, but it's like, I don't want to go to work. I know that's an excuse, but it's It's
You
been
don't feel good,
crazy.
you don't feel good.
Exactly. It's just been, and we're looking for another worker, and supposedly they interviewed somebody Thursday or Friday. Haven't heard anything about that. So, and to work for my company, you have to pass the background check. So,
Sometimes that's the hardest part.
yep, sometimes can't find anybody to do that. That's sad that they have to even do that.
If I didn't have to work weekends, I'd take it.
Because back in my day, you don't have to work weekends.
I don't have him during the week right now, so.
You don't have to work weekends. It's Alex that works weekends. So anyway, what are y'all having for dinner? Come in and give me the thumbs up and say hi, please. You don't have to talk, just say hi. Just like Mo did. If he had to go, that's fine. He might even be at work. Pizza good. I've been hungry for pizza and I haven't had it in a long time.
I have hella Domino's points, so I got like a free sandwich and a free pizza sitting in.
Nice.
Because they don't do the free, they do points. So I had like 70 points, but then I had a coupon for a free sandwich.
Should title this a mukbang. Domino's mukbang. I've been confusing myself with my medication. And I'm like, oh, I gotta take it like at 3 o'clock. I'm like, I haven't taken my medication today. It's an antibiotic. I'm like, wait a minute. Yes, I did. And now I don't know if I did or not. I gotta put a thing on my phone.
Oh, who the knitter? Who's that?
Hi. Who's the
Hi.
knitter? Welcome in.
Thanks
Sorry.
for coming.
We're eating dinner. I didn't expect this.
It's my fault. Henry and I slept through lunch and we're starving, so I ordered food. As soon
Hi,
as I got
Billy.
here. Hi, Billy. I know I usually don't eat on camera because I look like a cow, but I'm too hungry to hear right now.
Billy started making gingerbread people.
Mmm.
They're cute.
One of my residents was screaming for Christmas music the other day, so we listened to Christmas music at lunch.
She's making crafts, I meant.
I know. I'm just saying.
They're really cute, Billy. Hey, Risa. Oh, thank you. My hair was getting so long, and it gets so long, and I have to curl it with a curling iron. I'm like, nope. I hate to spend time on my hair. I mean, I like for it to look nice, but if I had to spend more than 5 minutes on it to look nice, I died for a cut. So, I went another day and my hairdresser goes, I said, what do you think? And she goes, I don't know, that's, what?
Yes, we are eating. It's my fault. Henry and I decided to take a nap this afternoon and sleep through lunch. And I got here and I was like, I'm starving. So I ordered pizza behind her back.
Yep, we're eating pizza. Sorry.
So our Saturday night chat turned into a mukbang. Sorry.
What's that?
Garlic.
Oh. You'll probably see Henry later.
He's not feeling good. He might pop in. He might not. I don't know. He's battling a little cold.
Oh, hopefully we'll get to tell you what he's learning in school.
Yeah.
He's so excited. Oh, I have some exciting news. My daughter texted me the other day and said, my middle daughter that's pregnant said they got her due date. They think they got her due date wrong. And Miss Serenity might be here earlier. So,
She better hope, because being overdue is miserable.
not yet. Not yet, one of a kind.
No.
What?
Is Ashley going to stay with her for a bit?
With Clarissa?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, no. She just lives across town. She's a big girl. I didn't stay. Well, Courtney stayed with me.
I lived with her when I had Henry.
Doing good. I'm still not 100% one of a kind. I feel like I'm getting a head cold or the flu or something. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I haven't been. You okay?
A little bit.
You alright, Boo-Boo?
Yeah.
Hurricane Ophelia.
Ugh. It's been,
You're right here the last couple days.
yeah, but it's been really nice today. I didn't go out, and I was actually cold in here because my air was kicking on. I'm like,
Henry.
why am I cold? I was
Brian
covering
said, "What's up, buddy?" You don't feel good.
You want to come say hi?
Real quick. I don't think so, guys. He's not feeling it.
You can tell in his eyes he doesn't feel good.
We didn't put our mics on.
They're not charged from last week. Yeah, they are. I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Nobody says they can't hear us, so probably don't want to hear us chewing with this mics on.
So, that guy I watched from Lahaina on Maui, he has like this. I've seen somebody else too. They have these little fuzzy things on their,
Those are better for outdoors because they
Yeah.
reduce the wind.
because there's a lot of wind over there in Maui and Lahaina. Maui is the island, like Illinois is the state, and we live in,
Lahaina is the city.
yes, okay. But that's where it got the most damage, right?
Yes.
It's bad. I was saying earlier, I watched a guy with his drone, and it's just so weird because, I mean, we have tornadoes around here, and you can almost see the path where the tornado went, but that fire, and I know the wind and stuff has, but it's just like right in the middle of the city, there's this big, I can't remember if he said it was a store or what it was, but like it was an aerial view because it was from his drone.
You gonna season that chicken there, one of a kind?
It was completely, it wasn't untouched by the fire, but everything around it was destroyed. I don't understand it. It's upsetting because like people lost their homes and like they've been there for all their lives, and churches that have been there since the 1800s. Nice.
Look at my shirt, guys. It's so cute. It's the spooky vibes, and there's pumpkins and bats. It's got freaking bats. It's a work shirt.
Why are you wearing a work shirt on your day off?
Because it's cute. I like these. I don't want those purple polos. I've got enough of these. I wish she would let us wear these all the time.
And we'd have to sync that to that, right?
Just plug it in,
Okay.
like the other one.
Mine's Elvis. It says legendary at the bottom.
It's got 25th anniversary on the back.
Yeah. A friend of mine got this at a yard sale for me. And I found it the other day because she put it on my porch in just a Walmart bag or a plastic bag and said, I found these shirts for you and Courtney at a yard sale. And then I found it the other day. I'm like, oh, why don't I wash that and wear it? So
Our
I
friends
did.
know us well. Crystal said she found a book the other day that's something about the untold truth about the Presley legacy or something like that. And she's like, I'm going to bring it to you. I'm like, thanks, Crystal. Anybody watch any good movies, TV shows this week? I jumped down the rabbit hole of Sons of Anarchy. Should have never done that. I like bikers. That was just stupid, Courtney. You already knew you were going to like it. I jumped down the rabbit hole and now I'm sucked in.
Hi, Ariel. Thanks for coming in. Welcome.
Hi, Ariel.
Welcome in. Sorry we're eating. It's a surprise to me.
I'm fat and needed food.
I've been living on mushy food all week because of my tooth. It's slowly getting better at, like, right down here at the gum line. It still feels kind of weird, but I've made up my mind that it is what it is. I'm not going to pay $5,000 to get it fixed or $400 to get it pulled. I'm going to call another dentist and see, because my friend said it'd probably cost half of what they want to get it pulled, so definitely need to be pulled. I don't want an infection in there again. I watched a good movie last weekend. I told you about it. Will Ferrell and
Oh, yeah. Get hard.
Kevin Hart, Get Hard. It's funny.
Strawberry lemonade.
Yum.
I had blueberry pomegranate lemonade at work the other day and it was delectable.
I usually don't drink soda, but Courtney offered, so I took it. Listen to the Cubs game this afternoon. They won. Okay. Tomorrow's their last home game of
Wanna
this
go to
season.
Chicago?
Yeah, I do. One of the announcers
Wanna
said,
say hi? That's all you get?
one of the announcers said, if you're not doing anything tomorrow afternoon, come on up to Wrigley. Go to Cubs.com and get tickets. I bet they're sold out. They had a...
We can go up there on the green and listen to it and party with everybody who's not in the stadium.
Yeah, it was supposed to be nice weather tomorrow, too.
Probably the last of the nice weather.
Yep. It's so sad. But it is September, but I remember in 2006 we were playing in October. It was so cold. Or it was really chilly up there in October.
Wasn't there one Thanksgiving I was in shorts?
Yep. That's when Uncle Dwayne came down and we were all on the back porch.
There was one where we were over at Grandma's because I remember Claire was there.
Yep.
But yeah, there was a Thanksgiving Uncle Tiny came down and we were on the back deck.
When your father decided to get drunk and cook the turkeys at Stacy's.
Yeah, we had the deep fried turkey and he was schloss by the time he came home.
I'm like, really? I got all my family coming over and he was drinking. My ex-husband.
Good old Wayne.
Just don't eat all of those, Mom.
I won't. There's still plenty for you.
Another
Poops.
piece of pizza. Just one.
But save the pizza for if we don't need to buy any pizza and we want to have pizza for dinner.
You're not going to eat dinner at my house tomorrow, Bubba. You're going to go back to your daddy's.
I know.
So, I haven't made any videos this week. Well, I downloaded a couple, uploaded a couple, and I just haven't felt like it. So I'm taking a sabbatical, but that's more than a week off, isn't it?
Sabbatical can be however long you want.
Oh shoot, I was going to ask you. They were talking a medical term on TV and I forgot to write it down. I got
Ask Dr. Caitlin in there with her Grey's Anatomy. I worked a night shift last Sunday night into Monday morning. And everybody's asleep and I had a little bit of downtime, so I sat in the big living room and I watched Law & Order. And I have a former lawyer that I take care of, and she came out and sat down next to me and was watching it for a little while, and it was an episode that I was into, and she finally leaned over to me and goes, "This doesn't make you a lawyer," and just got up and walked away from me, and I'm like,
Mom will have to get them. They're way up in the high cabinet.
what does he want?
A straw.
For my
They're
Sprite.
above the coffee pot.
Daddy.
Next one over, sorry.
Above the coffee pot.
I forgot to move the coffee pot. So, I got this book at a yard sale. Can everybody hear us okay? And I got it for Mr. Henry.
These at Aldi's again when I was there with Brett the other day.
Yeah, I was going to get one. I'm like, no, you already have one. And you get a cookbook and you make it just as cheap as home. So, yeah, I got this book for Henry. And I'm going to make a journal out of it. But I'm not going to tear it up because there's a lot of gals that make journals out of those little golden books. But they don't tear them up. They take the whole book out. And I might do that with, this. Because it's just sewn together. I just have to take a sharp tool down there. But I was thinking, did I leave that? Yeah. See, this is a full sheet of paper. And I can just put these in there. But I'm going to have to think of a way to put them in there.
Beverly Hills 90210.
So, nice.
Remember watching that show?
Season
These are
4,
the new
episode
headphones?
7. So it has the former owner, his name in here. So I'm just going to glue this on there and cover it up and put him a little pocket in here. He needs a sticker book. But I'm not really condoning this as a sticker book because he can still read it.
I don't know how to read yet.
Well,
Oh, working on it, Bubba.
yeah, he did pretty good the first couple lines of this book.
I think I'm on season 2, like episode 9 of Sons of Anarchy.
It's an older book, but...
How is this dead?
Oh, this is a golden book too, but not a little golden book. I think that was the thing back in the day.
Those little golden books are expensive, though.
Yeah.
Like, if you get the older ones, they're pricey. Where's Wolf at? Wolfie.
Golden Craft Binding. A golden book. This might be worth some money, y'all. And maybe I won't tear it up. I mean, I'm not going to tear it up.
What'd you say, Golden Craft?
Golden Crafting. Oh, 1966. Oh, I gotta keep this book. No, I'm gonna give it to Henry, but he's gotta. That's a good year. Golden Craft Binding. Golden Press. So yeah, I had a remarkable week. Oh, I got sucked down the YouTube rabbit hole last night,
Well,
but I started watching.
if you had a Thumbelina or a Sleeping Beauty, it'd be worth $200.
I cashed it in and go get my tooth pulled.
Oh,
All right, one of a kind.
a 67 print of Snow White is worth $199, so $200.
Oh, 66. I
That's-
am a boy.
That's what I'm looking for. I can't find it. Like I said, if you had the Blue Book Fairy Prince Tale.
Can't you? Oh, can't you?
Okay. These are the ones that are collectible. Painting, Sleeping Beauty, Blue Book, Fairy Prince, Fun with Words, and Thumbelina are highly sought after.
You're lucky.
Love you, Mom.
Love you, Bubba.
You're lucky. The knitter. I found out Wednesday when I went to hopefully get my tooth pulled that I didn't have dental insurance, and I thought I did, but I remember why I don't have it, because it just covers cleaning and like general maintenance of your teeth. It doesn't cover extractions, oral surgery, what's that other called, root canals and root. So I called Aflac and they have really good dental insurance, but you have to wait 6 to 9 months. It's before it'll cover root canals or any, because I have to have, this dentist I went to said 2 crowns, because they're going to pull this, I'm going to say like the middle tooth. They're going to have put 2 crowns on those teeth where I pull, and then, who that?
Corey.
Oh.
I'm confused. He's so little, and I love Corey, but she's a big girl.
And they're going to put a crown on the front tooth, a crown on the back tooth, and a bridge where this other tooth was. So I'm like, enough of that nonsense. $5,000, over $5,000 to have that work done. And they said, oh, we can set you up with a payment plan. I'm like,
Hey, Mom.
payment plan. I'm like,
And
oh,
I'm gonna
great.
maybe have to go to the dentist.
Oh,
And
Because I chipped my tooth.
You chipped your tooth?
Yeah.
And they said, oh, but we got a payment plan. I'm like, okay. So they hand me this pamphlet. It's a credit card, and it starts out at 14.9 interest. Then it goes to 15.9, then 16.9, then 17.9. And when it's all said and done, I would have to pay $7,000 for this $5,000 work that they got. Yeah. And my mom told me, because she goes to the same dentist, she goes, don't do it. Don't get on. They finance it, and it's through this credit card company. And I'm like, nope.
I know, I see.
And a smart idea how to not get your fingers dirty. Just get a napkin and put it over one, and then pick it up.
That's a good idea.
Look at you, you're so smart.
Yeah. I'm gonna call this other dentist my friend recommended to me. She said they don't take insurance, but because they don't take insurance, their prices are cheaper. So if it's only gonna cost me, because they wanted to pull the tooth that day, and I'm like, yeah. And they said it's $430 out the door today, plus $90, so it'd been what, $500 and some just to have my tooth pulled. I did pay them the $90 for the exam, and they took a couple X-rays, and the dentist came in and looked at it, and the hygienist did more than the dentist does. But I don't think I'm getting the crowns and the bridge and everything. I'll just have a gap there where my tooth is.
And I forgot about my balloony thing.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's over there.
It seems like it's always a racket because, and I'm not making fun of doctors and dentists. All the medical field is very much needed, but there's a racket in it too. And I started watching Ozzy Osbourne podcasts. I enjoy Ozzy. He's very front. He's honest. He's front forward. He doesn't pull any punches. He is a celebrity, but I don't think he acts like it.
I'm a child of the early 2000s, so I remember the first family of reality TV, and it was the Osbournes, not the Kardashians.
He had a surgeon said, oh, you need this surgery, and of course he did it, and that surgeon screwed up his neck. Now, he went, I don't know, it was a couple months ago or whatever, whenever the podcast, and he was supposed to have that fixed, so. And I had a doctor tell me I needed surgery on my foot. And he goes, if you don't get it, it's just going to get worse. And I'm like, okay. And he kind of scared me into the surgery. And I'm like, okay, let's schedule it. I was going to have to be off of work a month. And I'm like, are you going to pay for that? Of course, he didn't think I was serious, but I was. You know, who's going to pay my wages when I'm off work? Plus, I would have had to pay for that my insurance. But at the time, my insurance didn't cover it. So I went in and changed my insurance. So, and I didn't have to have that surgery. Well,
Are you done with this, Bubba?
by the grace of God, my foot got better because I told everybody
Put it in the fridge.
I told everybody at work, and they started praying for me, and praise God, I haven't had any more trouble with that
Throw it
foot.
away. Put your trash in there with all the food.
Yeah, close it.
I'm an 90s kid too, Ariel. I just remember the Osbournes watching that on
Please
MTV.
Close it for me.
And they always make jokes about being the first reality TV family. And honestly, they were, because that was like one of those first. It was before the Kardashians.
I was mad at MTV though.
Yeah, they made Ozzy look terrible.
And the way he talked on there, and they had to edit that stuff to out the wazoo.
Well, and they also talk on the podcast where Ozzy's been clean now for a while. So I feel like there were some other factors along with that. But
yeah, but it was like, yeah,
They made
it
him
was
sound like an
totally
invalid, though.
inaudible, like the stuff, and they had the closed caption down. And then him and Jack, but that was several years later. Him and Jack did that. What was that called, Courtney? Something Across America. I watched all the episodes of that. I got hooked on that too. And him and Jack went across America in a Winnebago, not a Winnebago, but a camper. And I remember, it was so funny, Jack had this little doll. It was like, I don't want to say it's a voodoo doll, but I don't know what it was. And Ozzy swore, because they had trouble with the camper. They couldn't fix it, so they, of course, they had the money, so they bought another whole new camper in, and somehow Ozzy threw that doll out, and Jack was looking for it, and Ozzy goes, I don't know what happened to it. And from then on, they got rid of that doll. They were fine. But that was really neat for him, that time for him and Jack to bond. And Jack surprised him at the end. I think they went on, I think they went up to Alaska on like a fishing boat thing. It was cool.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe my life will get better if I get rid of my voodoo doll.
Cover up. That's not a voodoo doll.
I don't regret any of my tattoos, but if I ever could go back and switch things, that one.
How is he even gonna die soon?
Does anybody in the chat have tattoos? Are you done?
Yeah.
I do.
I don't have any.
Right, Courtney. Let's show them.
Just show them. It's our mother-daughter tattoo.
I got 2 more of those to get.
Because we're weird. One on my chest.
Actually, no, I'm not the
That's an unfinished chest piece because there's going to be one on the other side too when I'm not a wuss.
To be honest with you all, I probably would have had 1 tattoo. And that's because my cousins and my sister were down at my brother's in Missouri. And I think it was a 4th of July weekend. And they all decided to get tattoos. And I couldn't make it down there because I had to work or my ex-husband or something. I don't know.
Wayne was always the problem.
It's his fault.
It was always Wayne's fault.
So anyway, they all got, and I'm like, well, I need to get one. And my cousin goes, oh yeah, we'll give you one. So that was my first tattoo. It's on top of the foot. There's no muscle or, it's just like bone and, well, I guess there is muscles in there, but.
There's no fat.
Yeah. So it was, I mean, I'm glad I got it. But,
How is it easy for you to close?
I'll close that. Will you go throw this away for mommy and me?
come here, Mommy, show him.
Oh.
So yeah, and once I got one tattoo, I had to get another one, and then I got another one, and then I got another one, and like I said, if it wasn't for my cousin, I probably would only have 1. But he never charged me for the tattoos. I always gave him, like he came the weekend, and we always had to try to have tattoo parties, and that's where you invite friends over. And
He tattooed in our kitchen.
Yeah.
Like true rednecks we are.
yeah, and well, that one time he used to have a trailer. He traveled around in his trailer, but don't say about where he's from because he'd get in trouble for that.
I don't know where he's from.
But anyway, so he said, if you get so many clients, I'll come for a weekend and we'll do a tattoo party. And if I referred, them, and then like they would come for a tattoo, and if they referred somebody, they would get so much off their tattoo. So I think that was pretty fair the way my cousin did it, but he's not able to do it anymore because he's
Diabetic and have arthritis and other health issues.
Yeah, I was going to say how much older he was. I think he's 7 years older than me.
He's just got medical issues. Makes it hard for him, but his son does.
Yeah, his son's still, I think.
That's every time I talk to him, he tells me, Jay, I gotta come up and see Jay.
Yep. So I would like to have 2 more, another 2 for my daughter. Well, really 3 more tattoos, and then I'm done.
Sleeves. I need my chest piece. This was gonna be my whole blood muffin. If anybody knows what that stuff is, it's like zombies, and I was gonna have this with my voodoo dolls and have zombie tattoos. This was gonna be Alice in Wonderland. I was gonna have the cartoon and the new one. A little bit I was gonna do it backwards. I was gonna have the hole on my wrist and have them looking down the hole, but it was gonna be up my arm. So cool. I have a couple back things. I still want to get my thigh tattoo. I'm covered. I want to walk into an old person's room and they see me covered in ink and they get scared.
I seen a girl the other day and it was like, don't judge her, don't judge her. She had like, hey, she had a spider web right here. And where was that? It had to be in the dentist's office. I don't think she was, I don't know. But I'm like, okay then. Oh, and going down the YouTube rabbit hole, I will always...
Hi, Austin.
Hey, Austin, how you doing? I was always wondering, and my cousin kind of explained it to me one time, but not, I don't know. Like, I didn't understand it. But about, are Christians supposed to have tattoos? And I'm 99.9% sure that it's okay, but last night this preacher said that he got a tattoo, and it's an anchor, but the top of the anchor, you know, where the like chain would go through or the rope, it's a cross. And it has something on there in Hebrew, and then he has his two brothers' initials in there, and he said it's wrong to get a tattoo. And back then in the Old Testament where it says not to mark your body or cut yourself, and it was the gods that they were worshiping, that's what they did, and they didn't call it tattoo, they call it tinning or something, because tattoo wasn't a word back then.
Brian said hi.
And so...
Hi, Brian.
Your arms are short, kids.
My arms are not short.
So it is not, it's not against, it's, you know, it doesn't say in the Bible not to get tattoos. And he said, if you want a tattoo, pray to the Holy Spirit, and, you know, you gotta get a tattoo for, like, it's gotta not mean something, but like, huh?
None of my tattoos mean anything except for the one for Grandma.
Yeah.
Well, I like Cinderella. That's why I got this one.
And mine,
And
this
I was
one.
a costume designer, so it kind of went along with that. But I need to get
This one
of those
means
size.
something to me, of course. And I was telling...
The one on my shoulder means something. That was a one-of-a-time opportunity. It'll make my entire life. I got one on my leg for my grandma. It's a cross because she's real old school and she probably would have hated it, but I got one for her. I need to get one for my grandpa now.
And one time I was at church, our old church, we were helping redo that because it was a Family Dollar store, and we were turning into the church, and we were helping there with the drywall and everything, and I had my sleeves rolled up, and Caleb, one of my friends, he's passed away, he said, I don't see nothing wrong with tattoos as long as you know, as long as it means something. And I'm like, well, all my tattoos have meaning. I mean, like, they're like drunken sailors go, ah, because my dad had a tattoo right here on his arm. It was a heart with a banner through it. It said Mary. And I'm like, who's Mary? Because his ex-wife's name was Sally, and Mom's name was Sharon. And he goes, this is an old girlfriend. And my cousin said, never get your
partner's name on your body, only your kids.
Yeah, and even like your wife, don't put that on your, you know, because, and sure enough, one of my other cousins, he got this big thing of his wife, and guess what? They got a divorce, and
Talking about Nader?
No, and he had to have it covered up.
The mountains, he got the mountains on his arm.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Nader had that big lock on his chest, and she had the key, and he had to get it covered. That was so fun. I was there that night, and he was complaining because it was big, and he's a man, so it had to go down and cover everything up, and we're tattooed really close to your sensitive spot, and he was whining, and our tattoo guy was like, shut up. You did this to yourself. That was fun. That was a good night.
And also my other and tattoos too.
Yeah, Nader does.
Nate, and he got a spider web on his elbow, and he said, "Never get a tattoo on your elbow. It's skin."
None of my tattoos hurt except this one. And I can tell you, by the time the outline was done, I was like, I'm done. And Uncle Tiny was like, oh no, we're coloring that in. I'm like, I check out. He wouldn't let me. He colored it in, and I white-knuckled the chair the whole time. I was so balled up that my leg was bouncing, and I didn't realize my leg was bouncing. He's like, you're going to have to stop. And I was like, I can't. I don't even know.
That's like none of my tattoo. Well, most of mine are like outlines. There's a little bit shading on here, but that didn't hurt because I really big muscle there. And there's a little bit of shading, and I don't remember that hurting.
This is the only one I ever remember being like...
And I got one on my back. It's a tramp stamp, but it's not your traditional tramp stamp, and it's not as low as the tramp stamps. And I remember laughing. He goes, what? And I go, let me tell you, I'm ticklish on my back. And when he was tattooing, I was laughing because it tickled to me, like right at the spine.
My first one is the one on my shoulder. It's my jack, and he was doing it. He's like, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm okay. Are you started? He's like, I'm almost done. I'm like, what? And it's lines. There's no color to it.
The coloring is what hurts.
This one, I don't remember it hurting, but I remember it took forever, and I was like, why is it? And he was like, oh, I'm just shading in some of the hair with a lining needle. It's nothing. And I'm like, okay. The one on my leg, nothing. This one, this hurt though, because he was right on my collarbone.
Yeah, the one on my foot, my first one he did, I'm like,
and
so...
I don't think you can see it because it's faded, but he did like a little tink on the halo. And he was like, making it look really nice. And I was like, he was like, we just got to put some pizzazz on it. I was like, you show the pizzazz when the sun doesn't shine, it hurts. I know lots of diabetics that have tattoos. Brian, I don't know who told you couldn't. You just have to be very careful and take very good care of it in the healing process. And you have to let your tattoo artist know that you're diabetic.
I bet my cousin could ya, or his son.
I had a diabetic friend in high school that got a tattoo, and she's still severely diabetic. She doesn't take care of herself.
Kayla.
She's no longer a friend.
Kayla.
Yeah. She's no longer a friend anymore. But, yeah, she doesn't take care of herself very well, and she got a tattoo, at least one that I know of. I don't know if she's got any more after that, because we're not friends anymore.
Yeah, my first tattoo, I'm like, so that's a needle going in there. And he goes, actually, it's 3. And I'm like, okay. And my best friend was there, and I was hungry, and I got some pork rinds, and she was feeding me pork rinds, so I was getting a tattoo.
This ex-friend of mine was screaming like a baby, and she got it on the shoulder, like almost the same place where I got mine, and I'm sitting there, and I was trying not to laugh at her, because she's kind of sensitive about that. I'm like, you're stupid. You're real stupid. You're not that bad.
And I did cry when I was getting one tattoo, but it's this, on this shoulder? This one. This shoulder.
Find out.
This one.
Yeah, this is Snoopy.
Yeah, I started crying, and my cousin goes, are you okay? Because I started jerking. And he stopped, and I go, yeah. And he goes, I'm not hurting you, am I? And I go, no. And he goes, it's for her we're doing it for, isn't it? And I said, yep, it was for my dad. It's a really cool tattoo. My dad and his brothers always played cards. And he put a deck of cards, and it's like the best poker hand, but he left one. And he said, your dad in heaven is holding that card. And then he put his initial, and then he put a heart. Didn't he put an eternal flame in there too? No.
I haven't seen your back in years, mother.
I know.
There's a heart, you put dad, and then you put his initials.
Yeah.
And there's one card that's not flipped over.
Yeah.
And his name's on the ace.
Yeah. So that was the only tattoo I cried, and that wasn't because of pain.
How did he die?
I have a very high tolerance for pain, so it was who I was doing it for. Didn't Caitlin come up on my lap and wipe my tears?
Caitlin or Clarissa, I don't
Because we
remember.
did that in Indiana.
My first tattoo is the coolest tattoo.
My ex-boyfriend fell asleep. Yeah. And his
Can
tattoo.
we please go home now?
Go home.
You see it?
Yeah. Just not. We can see it.
It's my Jack.
That's one of a kind. There'll
Nobody
be.
will ever have another one like that.
Nope.
Is the video almost done?
No, Bubba, we're just getting started.
I'll be right back. Hang on, everybody.
I don't know what to talk about now.
What, Mom? Oh, do you see a cracked tooth?
Where? Which side? This side?
Ah,
I don't see a cracked tooth, Bubba.
it's this one.
Oh, I do see it. Oh, Bubba.
What?
How did you do that?
I don't know.
I'd say better care of your teeth, Pookums. You're too young to be having cracked teeth.
Why not?
You brush your teeth at Dad's?
Yes.
Oh, here's my shirt.
Elvis. I like that Elvis. That's a good one, too. Oh,
What's the back? say?
Aloha from Hawaii. Elvis. EP Elvis 25.
I was gonna do some sunglasses, and I'm like, how can I put the EP? And I'm like, hot glue, EP, and then just paint it like gold, or didn't he have ones that were gold?
Real gold. Bless you.
Thank you. Real gold.
Yeah, Elvis had a pair of sunglasses that were real gold.
Did you say up at the top? The tear up at the top?
Yeah. I want to get my teddy bear logo. That I'm too old for that. Do it, Brian. Like I said, you just got to be careful and take care of your, because it's an open wound while it's healing. Since you're diabetic, be careful, take care of it
Every
like
day
you're
you gotta
supposed to.
do something to it.
Clean it, moisturize it, let it heal right, and just let your tattoo artist know. I don't know any tattoo artist that, unless they're bad and they don't know how to give you proper care, would tell you that they won't tattoo you as diabetic.
Come on over to Illinois. We'll get you hooked up with a good tattoo artist.
Yeah.
Oh, and my daughter, my middle daughter she has a tattoo right here, and it's so ugly.
She's got a couple.
And I told her, well, the one here that's pretty. I like the one here because it doesn't say Faith.
I don't remember. I don't look at her enough.
Yeah, the first one that she got, it's hideous.
The one on her arm looks okay, I guess.
One on her arm.
The skull with the flowers around it.
The one that she got from the t-shirt.
Yeah.
I don't like that one because
My
it got a skull on it.
face.
And my cousin had a book that told you what, like people get roses and hearts and skulls mean death. And I'm like, and my ex-boyfriend was going to get a skull, and I'm like, no, you're not. That means death. You're not going to get a skull.
I want to get a Fight the Dead, Fear the Living tattoo.
I'm like, why would you want death on your body?
We're all dead.
Yes, we are. We're all zombies. Remember when Rod said that?
Yep.
We're all zombies till we come to the Lord.
No, Bubba, don't get up here with that blankie on you.
That preacher I was watching last night, he's really good. It's called DLM Ministries. No, DLM.
I need an Elvis tattoo. I need an Elvis tattoo so bad.
Oh, I like Sophie's.
I know, she got his signature right there. Oh! I want to get
I like that TCB.
TCB. I want to get a TCB like on my hand somewhere where I'd have to see it every day.
Yeah.
Take care of business.
Ooh, that'd hurt right there because the arthritis.
Right there on my hand where I gotta look at it every day or
But
get.
she got it like right here in the lightning bolt.
Yeah,
is-
my Elvis friend Sophie just got her first Elvis tattoo. She's got 100 more she wants. But she got his signature like from right here on this meaty part of your hand down her wrist.
But I was talking about her TCB.
Yeah.
It was like she got upside down, didn't she? Because the lightning bolt's going this way.
So that when she puts it down, you're looking at it.
Yeah.
But I want it. I don't care if you can't. I want it on my hand where I see it every day. I'm just taking care of business.
What happened right there, Mom?
I think one of my residents scratched me.
Yeah.
It happens a lot.
Yeah.
I'm working on this, and I should be working on my.
My cough is going a little. My cough is going way a little bit, Mom.
That'd be cool, though.
My cough is
Have
going
your-
way a little bit.
Good. Have your own brand. That'd be cool to have your brand as a tattoo. I just think, I mean, most of my tattoos were thought through, and I was like, do I really want this on my body forever? And I caught grief from my boss, but God rest his soul, he's gone now, Ron. That's gotta be on your body when you're old and wrinkly, and leave him alone, Henry.
What?
Don't disturb him while he's in there because he'll end up scratching you.
And I said, yep, it's gonna be on my body. I watched this one thing the other day. I think it was YouTube video. This girl, yeah, it was like a short or reel. And she was going in, she has tattoos like from her neck down, and she's getting all those removed.
Hi, Eric.
Hey Eric, how you doing, Eric Weaver? Welcome in. Thanks for the
I
thumbs
just
up,
need
guys.
to
I
get
really
out here for a
appreciate
second.
that. Share this
Don't
out if you
let him sit
can.
in there.
I'm trying to put some cushions
That's his
in
safe
there.
spot. Leave him alone. I don't care.
What?
Wayne's girlfriend.
Oh, she's liking my stuff too, hearting my stuff, and I
She's
was like,
sending me pictures of her kids like I care.
block her.
Ah. She randomly messaged me earlier today. She's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Restringing my
Mom.
guitar." She's like, "Oh, that's fun." I was like,
Watch
"Loads."
this. It went.
Thank you,
it
one of a
hit
kind.
there, hit there, did a backflip, and then landed.
Whoa.
When I zoomed it.
Is it that hot outside that the air needs to be? I don't know. I'm cold.
Mine's still on, and it was like running all afternoon. I was like, "What?"
It says it's 80 some degrees outside.
Don't feel like it.
I don't know. Oh, I wanted to show you some pictures. I got in a printing mood today.
Oh,
Some that I don't know, I wish I could, maybe you could show me how to do that, Courtney.
What?
Get them smaller on I think I could do it on my laptop.
Probably.
Because I take pictures of these and then they turn out, and not all my junk journals are full. In fact, if they're full pages, that's hard to do. And I was going to tell you all, I made that Cubs journal. If you haven't seen it, this is for you, or Jenny.
Facts. 1970 in the foyer at Graceland.
Who's that?
I don't know who that girl is, but I know who that is.
Duh.
That's Zaddy.
Oh, I love this.
no.
They whispered to her, "You cannot withstand the storm," and she whispered back, "I am the storm." I love dragonflies.
And the
But that would be-
impeccable words of Beth Dutton, "I'm the tornado and you are the trailer park."
That would be cool in a journal, because like most of the journals I like to make is like 4 by, what would this be?
Done this
4 by 8? No.
Put that back, Bubba.
I found it in there, and it's.
It says Jenga blocks. It's your blocks.
Yeah.
Oh, jungle pop.
So this is, let's see. It'd be, what's 11 and a half. Anyway, this would be neat, because you fold it right there, and the fold would be right on the
Hopefully, open.
dragonfly.
Before you rip it.
This reminds me of you too.
It's not by accident, it's by appointment.
Good hair isn't by accident. It's by appointment. I thought of my hairdresser too. She would
Takes a
love
lot
that.
of money to look this cheap.
Look this good.
Takes a lot of money to look this cheap.
I made my youngest daughter this. How cool is it that that the same God who created the mountains and oceans and galaxy looked at you and thought the world needed one of you too. I think that's cool. Bless you.
Thank you.
Oh, we got a whole. Oh, I love this picture. Look at the boat in the background when Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Peter? No. Thomas.
Adding Thomas.
No.
Yes, because he pulled Thomas out onto the water with him.
Anyway, Christ is pulling. You know, he said, "Ye of little faith." As long as he believed in God and he kept his eyes on God, he was walking on the water like Jesus did. And then he turned away or didn't believe, and I'm like, oh, how am I walking on the water? Well, as Christ is walking on it, and he reaches down and saves him. That's an awesome picture. Some of these I might frame. And of course, I love anything World War II, and these are U.S. bombers from World War II. They had German, British, Japan. I'm like, I don't want them. Well, that'd be kind of, but you can't read it. But I thought that was kind of neat.
Aviation stuff is cool.
Yep. And I printed this off for Courtney. See, it's too big.
Did you see that TikTok I sent you where they did the AI pictures of the Harry Potter characters as bikers? And I was like, oh, that movie sounds even better.
It says, London to Hogwarts, ticket to be shown upon demand. They're neater because I screenshot these because they're I can't read that.
I can see that right there.
I can't read that. I'll start crying if I read that.
Don't ask me to read it.
These are so cool.
Antique tags.
Yep. God bless you too, Eric Weaver.
Thank you, Eric.
Oh, I want to read this. I might have to send and get that. I'm sure I could get a free printable one.
Yeah.
The Declaration of Independence, but that'd be cool to put in a journal. You can't read it, but I would like to get. And they had ones that were Declaration of Independence, the
I used to have one.
preamble, and the Constitution. And I did this. I printed one, and then it was when my door was still leaking, and it ruined it. So I'm going to laminate this. And then I got one of those protectors, page protectors. I still got it up on my door, so I'm gonna, I don't know why, because I don't get gifts every day. Oh, I printed 2 of those, good. I'm going to give this to my sister. I'm sure she's going to cry, but I'll try to read this. It said, I never left you.
Mom, I literally took 2 hours.
As I sit in heaven, I watch you every day. I try to let you know with signs. I never went away. I hear you when you're laughing and watch you as you sleep. I even place my arms around you to calm you as you weep. I see you wish the days away, begging to have me home. So I try to send you signs so you know you're not alone. Don't feel guilty that I have life, that you have life that was denied to me. Heaven is truly beautiful. Just wait and see. Live your life and laugh again. Enjoy yourself. Be free. Then you know, with every breath you take, you'll be taking one for me. I like that. I like this one too. Focus on me in the storm. Better late than ugly.
It's my motto.
That's for Courtney. Before you speak, think. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Courtney, think before you speak.
If I thought before I spoke, I wouldn't say anything at all.
Right. This reminds me of my cousin. I think I'll put this in my window. No trespassing. Are you bulletproof or just stupid? These are all tin signs. They're supposed to be. Oh, I'll definitely put this in my window.
I want one of those when I get my car. I get my license back.
Elvis fans parking. Violators will be all shook up. Oh.
Should be violators will be shot.
Look at that one, Courtney.
The crow, raven.
The raven. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I promised the weak and weary, are many.
So before I had my court date, I kept seeing crows at work all the time, and my friend's into that Appalachia folklore, and she was like, crows bring good luck. And ever since I had my court date, I haven't seen a crow. So there was one day there was like 4 of them.
I love this one.
I still should have bought that sign when we were at the Balloon Fest.
I have a sign, do not read. What? And you turn away real quick.
Mom, look at this.
I like this one. I've seen this. Pray like Nehemiah. Obey like Daniel. Lead like Moses. Serve like Martha. Believe like Mary. Fight like David. I'm reading this backwards. Educate like Paul. Build like Noah. And love like Jesus. I like this one too. I can only imagine, surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus, or in all of you be still? Will I stand in your presence, or to my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak it all? I can only imagine. I should start crafting again. That Dwayne would like that, wouldn't he? So that's one of my
Don't do that. You're going to squish the box. You're going to squish that box. Come here and let me help you.
Don't squish the box. I got something too. How many of you all have adult children? All of my children are also my adults.
I don't have an adult child. Let's count Brad, but he actually takes care of himself, unlike some people. So I don't consider my significant other a child. He's a big boy. He takes care of himself.
Ow!
Not you, Boo Boo.
So I was looking at inspirational stuff on the internet today, and it says, of course I get that wrong. Saving paper. Yeah, things you're supposed to share with your, sometimes you forget that your adult child needs to hear from you. Don't forget to tell them 10 things. And this is one. One, you matter. And it's all biblical.
No, I don't.
We know, brothers and sisters loved by God, that He has chosen you. 1 Thessalonians 1:4. I should have marked these, but I'm going to look them up. Yeah, they do. I was looking at something and I'm like, what? And then it said, 10 things you're supposed to tell your adult child. Thessalonians. Where's Thessalonians?
If you have a high maintenance adult child like Clarissa, she needs to hear that every day.
And it's say that for me, Courtney.
Thessalonians? Thessalonians.
Easy for you to say.
Thessalonians. Thessalonians.
1:4. It says, "For we know, brothers and sisters, loved by God, that He has chosen you." Oh, sorry. Okay, I don't have to look these up. They have them for me. Sorry. Remind them they are chosen and loved by God. God sings over them. Zephaniah 3:17 has plans for them. Will listen to them and be found by them when they pray. Jeremiah 29:11-13. See Psalms 24:45, 119:26, 138:8, and Proverbs 16:3. You have been created in order that you might make a difference. You have within you the power to change the world. And that's by Andy Andrews. The concept of making a difference is understandable, yet do our children need to hear us tell them they can change the world? Yes, they matter. Their lives matter. What they do matters, and to God, to you, for all time, and for all time. And two, I love you. I think my daughters, well, I know Courtney and Caitlin hear that every day. Not Clarissa, but Courtney and Caitlin hear that every day from me. I should text Clarissa or call her every day and say, I love you. I mean, when we talk, I'd say that to her, but we don't talk every day, so. But anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love. 1 John 4:8. Do you see that? Do you see? If you know love, you know God. Sometimes we don't see the love of the Lord in our children, yet when we choose to praise God for the good work He has begun in them, He will complete it. See Philippians 1:6. God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in Him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. John 3:16. God gave His only Son to redeem us to Himself. That is love. Exquisite, powerful, all-encompassing, enduring, forever love. We crave affection, connectedness, community, and we need love. We can thank God He was, is, and will be the loving Father of our children, regardless of our parenting skills. May we love our children like God loved us, and tell them, I believe in you. Your adult children definitely need this one. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. This strength is not a feeling. It is a gift from God. Our spirits sleep when someone tells us they believe in us, and that we believe inwardly affects us outwardly. I know that's big, because when I was going for this job that I have now, my former supervisor said, I believe in you, Colleen, you can do that. I was like, what? And at that time, I didn't even believe in myself. And I'm like, if she believes in me, I gotta believe in myself. You know, she was a really good friend, and she really did help me get this job. So anyway, and Abraham believed the Lord, and the Lord counted him as righteous because of his faith. Genesis 15:6. And Courtney believed the Lord, and the Lord counted her as righteous because of her faith. We speak scripture about our kids, speak life into them. And number 4, remember who and whose you are. But all who have received him Those who believe in his name, he has given the right to become God's child. John 1:12. They are God's children. Family trees are researched and DNA tests performed. How much more meaningful for our children to know they are a child of the one true God. That sounds like a song. Yep. When they do, we'll do trivia. And if children, then heirs, namely heirs of God and also fellow heirs of Christ, if indeed we suffer with him, so we may also be glorified with him. Romans 8:17. Our children are co-heirs with Jesus, even our adult children. May the peace of God that passes all understanding settle them, even as they deal with unsettling circumstances. Plant knowledge of their heavenly inheritance into your kids, because the bloodline of Jesus is the most meaningful ancestry. Number 5. We're halfway through. I thank God for you. I thank God every time I think of you. Philippians 1:3. And that's the CEB version, whatever that is. I'm not for sure what that is.
Christian Educational Bible.
Yes, Christian Educational Bible. Tell your children you think of them often and are thankful for them. I was given such a great gift. It's a miracle that never stops amazing me and reminds me to give thanks every day. Having a wife and daughter gives me a lot more purpose. Okay, this must be written by a man. I was much more selfish, before, but now I think about what kind of role model I'll be. I just want to be a better man. Oh, Jake Owen. Wonder if that's a country star.
I bet if you said you was giving away money, your child would be half full.
Facts. Imagine how your child feel when you tell them, I thank God for them. I was given such a great gift, you. I remember when Christ, who is your life, appears, then you too will be revealed in glory with him. Colossians 3:4. Help them recall glorious times in their life. Do you love to hear about special moments filled with fun, love, and life? So do your children. They long to know they are still special to you. Ask them to recall their favorite memory and share their pictures too. May I share a lesson I've learned? Listen to your father and who gave you life, and do not despise your mother when she is old. Proverbs 23:22. May your adult children listen respectfully as you offer wise and godly counsel.
Well, the Bible was written long before Wayne. I think I need to amend that.
Why can I come up here?
Go plug in, Bubba.
You shall raise up before the gray-headed and honor the aged. You shall revere your God. I am the Lord. Leviticus 19:32. Wisdom truly comes from experience. Number 8. May I pray for you today? Teach your children and adult children alike to pray like Jesus taught us. They are invited into the throne room of grace. Oh, I must have missed some there. And this is Matthew 9:12. And forgive us our sins. Oh, that's part of the Lord's Prayer. And forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. And do not let us yield to temptation, but rescue us from the evil one. Forgive them as they forgive. Rescue them from the evil one. They need you, Lord. I forgive you. Who you please forgive? Would you please? Number 9, I forgive you. Would you please forgive me too? Forgiveness translated in the Greek means to let go. Forgiveness is not to let someone off the hook. Forgiveness is God's plan that allows us to be free of carrying a burden. See Luke 11:4, Matthew 18:23 through 35, 1 Colossians 13:4 and 5, Psalms 37:21, Proverbs 14:15, 22:3, Isaiah 65:17, and Revelations 21:4.
Brian says thank you. We needed these scriptures. Thank you for reading.
You're welcome. Now, did you see all those verses about forgiveness? Let go of anger and abandon rage. That's Psalms 37:8. Do not be consumed by rage, and as unforgiveness hurts only you. So let it go and let God deal with the issue. His plan is best for everyone involved. Trust God. Be the role model for your children. Teach them the lesson of forgiveness. I think I've taught my girls that pretty
Doesn't mean we always take it.
well. I
Some
know.
people don't deserve forgiveness.
I just read that. Everybody does, Courtney. Forgive as the Lord has forgiven you.
Yeah, well, some people continue to show me why they don't deserve my forgiveness.
Bless you. Number 10. And this is number 6, 24 through 26. May the Lord bless you and protect you. 25. May the Lord smile on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord show you his favor and give you his peace. That's a song too. Not just the bless you following a sneeze, or as we leave, bless you for the depths of who God is as their parent. Insert your child's name as you speak this blessing, and God is able to bless you abundantly, so that all things at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. 2 Corinthians 9:8. Choose to bless your children with the words straight from the Bible, abundantly. I thought that was really good. And you know, sometimes I think I'm like, oh, they're out on their own. They don't need me no more. That's really good.
I always need my mama.
That would be like start Monday or start tomorrow and do 10 days right in a row. That would be good. Share one of these each day. Wouldn't that? That'd be good. I want to share you my favorite verse, and then we'll go into some trivia maybe. Abraham tested, Genesis 22. Sometime later, God tested Abraham, and he said to him, Abraham, I am here, he replied. Then God said, take your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac, and go to a region of Mohara.
Yeah.
Mohara. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on a mountain, and I will show you. Early the next morning, Abraham got up and loaded his donkey. He took with him 2 of his servants and his son Isaac. When he had cut enough wood for a burnt offering, he set out for the place God had told him about. On the 3rd day, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance. He said to his servants, stay here with the donkey while I and the boy go over there. we will worship, and then we will come back to you. Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and placed it on his son Isaac, and he carried himself the fire and the knife. As the two of them went on together, Isaac spoke up and said to his father Abraham, "Father?" "Yes, my son," Abraham replied. "The fire and the wood is here," Isaac said, "but where is the lamb for the burnt offering?" Abraham answered, "God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son." And the two of them went on together. When they reached the place God had told him about, Abraham built an altar there and arranged the wood on it. He bound his son Isaac and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. Then he reached out his hand and took the knife to slay his son. But the angel of the Lord called out to him from heaven, "Abraham, Abraham." "Here I am," he replied. "Do not lay a hand on the boy," he said. "Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld from your son, your only son." Abraham looked up, and there in the thicket he saw a ram caught by its horns. He went over and took the ram and sacrificed it as a burnt offering instead of his son. So Abraham called that place, "The Lord will provide." And to this day it is said, "On the mountain of the Lord it will be provided." The angel of the Lord called Abraham from the heaven a second time and said, "I swear by myself, declares the Lord, that because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son, I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and as the sands on the seashores. Your descendants will take possession of the cities of their enemies, and through your offspring all nations on the earth will be blessed, because you have obeyed me." Then Abraham returned to his servants, and they set off together for Beersheba, and Abraham stayed in Beersheba. That's my favorite Bible story. And what faith Abraham had. He was going to sacrifice his son. And that also goes back to when Jesus sacrificed his son. You know, he gave his son to us, and Jesus became human, and he was without sin and blameless, and they hung him on the cross. And I often think about, and I never thought about that story before, and our pastor did a sermon on it one time, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that does go, you know, prelude to Jesus, you know, God giving his son. He sacrificed his one and only son, and that was Abraham's one and only son. And God blessed him for that and made him father of nations. Okay.
I like Esther.
Yeah, I want to do I like to be on a study in Esther. I tried one.
Me too.
One time, but I got more into it. Didn't we go to a study on Esther?
We wanted to, but it was during the day.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think I followed one. I looked one up because it's called the Bible app. It's called The Bible. That's where I get all my scripture that I put on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok every day.
Are you talking about YouVerse?
Yeah, YouVerse, sorry. And I was reading that, and then our pastor, like 2 years into that YouVerse, our pastor goes, "Hey, you guys go over and
come here
and download YouVerse." And I'm like, "I already have." That was pretty cool.
I'm not gonna hurt you. Come here.
Where's the school?
You hear it? Here.
Oh, I love Psalms too. Psalms and Proverbs. So much wisdom in Proverbs and Psalms. And like my cousin said, I wish we could I wish we could hear Psalms, because Psalms is songs. There, it was supposed to be set to music, and yeah, Job is awesome. Trying to. We did a study on Job, or Pastor did it.
We did in our small group, the last one we just did.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, that one was kind of choppy.
Yeah.
How do you hear it? Oh, you have it in.
In the land of Uz, there lived a man whose name was Job. This man was blameless and upright. He feared God and shunned evil. He had 7 sons and 3 daughters, and he owned 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 5,000 yoke of oxen, and 500 donkeys, and had a large number of servants. He was the greatest man among all people in the East. His son used to hold feast in their homes on their birthdays, and they would invite their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them. When a period of feasting had run its course, Job would make arrangements for them to be purified. Early in the morning, he would sacrifice a burnt offering for each of them,
Mom, you see,
thinking, perhaps my children have sinned and cursed God in their hearts. This was Job's regular custom. I am so glad we do not have to do burnt offerings anymore. And wasn't that the man's job? A woman didn't go to the altar, and
Yeah.
so,
And go to the temple, but she couldn't go.
yeah. And the burnt offering had to be the best. It couldn't be, the best of the best. It couldn't be a lamb. It couldn't be a hurt. And I mean, this was something you're giving to God. You got to give us your first. And one day the angel came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with them. The Lord said to Satan, "Where have you come from?" And Satan answered the Lord, "From roaming throughout the earth, going back and forth on it." Then the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job? There is no man on earth like him. He is blameless and upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil. Does Job fear God for nothing?" Satan replied, "Have you not put a hedge around him and his household and everything he has? You have blessed the work of his hands, so that his flocks and herds are spread throughout the land. But now stretch your hand and strike everything he has, and he will surely curse you to your face." And the Lord said to Satan, "Very well then, everything he has is in your power, but on the man himself do not lay a finger." Then Satan went out from the presence of the Lord. One day when Job's sons and daughters were feasting and drinking wine at the oldest brother's house, a messenger came to Job and said, "The oxen were plowing and the donkeys were grazing nearby, and the Sabines attacked and made off with them. They put the servants to the sword, and I am the only one who has escaped to tell you." While he was still speaking, another messenger came and said, "The fire of God fell from heaven and burned up the sheep and the servants, and I am the only one who has escaped to tell you." While he was still speaking, another messenger came and said, "The Chaldeans, Chalding, C-H-A-L, Chaldeans formed 3 raiding parties, and swept down on your camels and made off with them. They put servants to the sword, and I am the only one who has escaped to tell you." While he was still speaking, yet another messenger came and said, "Your sons and daughters were feasting and drinking wine and at the oldest brother's house." Then suddenly a mighty wind swept in from the desert and struck the 4 corners of the house. It collapsed on them, and they are dead. And I am the only one who has escaped to tell you. At this, Job got up, tore his robe, and shaved his head, then fell to the ground in worship and said, "Naked I come from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." In all this, Job did not sin by charging God with wrongdoing. That's chapter 1. I'm going to go on chapter 2.
Love you, Mom. And this is the game Dad plays.
On another day, the angel came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with them to present himself before him. And the Lord said to Satan, "Where have you come from?" And Satan answered the Lord. Oh, this is just... I'm going to read it anyway. Satan answered the Lord, roaming throughout the earth, going back and forth on it. Then the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him. He is blameless and upright, and the man who fears God and shuns evil. He still maintains his integrity.
Hey, Mom.
Though you incited me against him to ruin him without no reason." "Skin for skin," Satan replied. "The man will give all he has for his own life. But now stretch out your hand and strike his flesh and bone, and he will surely curse you to your face." And the Lord said to Satan, "Very well then, he is in your hands, but you must not spare his life." So Satan went out from the presence of the Lord and afflicted Job with painful sores from the soles of his feet to the crown of his head. Then Job took a piece of broken pottery and scraped himself with it as he sat among the ashes. His wife said to him, "Are you still maintaining your integrity? Curse God and die." He replied, You are talking like a foolish woman. Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" In this, Job did not sin, and in what he said. When Job's 3 friends, Eliphaz and Temanite and Bildad the Shunammite and Zophar the Manassonite heard all the troubles that had come upon him, they set out for their homes and met together by agreeing to go and sympathize with him and comfort him. You're welcome. One of a kind. When they saw him from a distance, they could hardly recognize him. They began to weep aloud, and they tore their robes and sprinkled dust on their heads. Then they sat on the ground with him, and for 7 days and 7 nights no one said a word to him, because they saw how great his suffering was.
Hi, Lulu's
Hi,
treasures.
Lulu. How you doing? Good to see you here. Good to see you in here. Welcome, welcome. I'm just reading the book of Job. Isn't that something? The pastor did a, this is all coming back to me. Pastor did a sermon on this too, that, you know, sometimes, like when you lose some, look how much Job lost. He lost his daughters, he lost his son, he lost all of his livestock, and now he's covered from from the soles of his foot to the heads of his toes with sores, and his wife told him to curse God and die. Real good wifely advice there. And Job said, "You foolish woman." But his friends came and just sat with him because they saw his suffering. And sometimes we have to do that to friends that has lost somebody or has lost so much. Yep. I don't care. I'm going to talk about the Lord. That's God, Lulu. That's God. Yeah, all this, and like I always tell my friends, I maybe don't have good advice to them, but if they want to talk to me, I'll listen to them all day. And just like Job's 3 friends, now we know how it ends up, but they just sat there because they saw how great his suffering was. And sometimes we have to do that. We just have to go sit with friends. It's not what we say or what. Sometimes it's what we do. When I had COVID, I was going that day to get Amen, Lulu. When I contracted COVID, I was going the next day to get groceries, and of course I couldn't. Because I was quarantined, and I was texting my friend and her and another co-worker of mine.
And Char.
Yeah, and Courtney's good friend.
Mimi, look what I found.
Woo, that's pretty.
I found it like right here.
They went and got me groceries, and I cried and I thanked them. And I had food in the house because that was God right there too. And wow. So yeah, that was awesome. And I had ladies from the church too.
Yeah, bring me stuff.
Yep, I had a couple ladies from the church bring me stuff. One fixed me a whole meal, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it was so good. It was something I was hungry for, and I'm like, that was God right there.
Yeah, when I had COVID the first time and I was on the 14-day quarantine and I had Henry, Char brought me diapers and shampoo and stuff, just stuff that I didn't have that I needed.
Mom, do you like my fort?
Super cool fort, Lulu.
Yeah, thank you for that.
It's really cool under here.
Yes, I truly believe that, Lulu, and we gotta, it's so much. God's been prompting me to get in the Word every day, and I haven't. I mean, I read my little verse on my U-verse every day, and it was like, what? That isn't enough. And I read my favorite passage today, Genesis 22. And so let me go on here. We got about 10 more minutes. I'll go on in Job 3. After this, Job opened his mouth and cursed the day of his birth. He said, "May the day of my birth perish, and the night that said, a boy is conceived. That day may it turn to darkness. May God above not care about it. May no light shine on it. May gloom and utter darkness claim it once more. May the clouds settle over it. May blackness overwhelm it.
Hey, Mom.
That night may
Hey, Mom.
thick darkness seize it. may it not
This is why you
be
don't go in the water.
included among the days of the
Don't
years,
fish.
nor be
Not right now.
entered in any of the months. May the night be barren. May no shout of joy be heard in it. May those who curse that day. Those who are ready
And
to rouse Leviathan. May its morning star become dark. May it wait for the daylight in vain and not see the first rays of dawn.
yes,
For it did not shut the doors of the womb on me to hide the trouble from my eyes.
that's the 5
Why
reasons why you
did-
don't go in the water.
Why did I not perish at birth, and die as I came from the womb? Why were their knees to receive me, and breast that I might be nursed? For now I would be lying down in peace. Sorry, I would be asleep and at rest with kings of rulers of the earth, who built themselves for places now, lying in ruin, with princes who had gold, who filled their houses with silver. Or why was I not hidden away in the ground of the stillborn, like a stillborn child, like an infant who never saw the light of day? There the wicked ceased from the turmoil, and there the weary are at rest. Captives also enjoy their ease. They no longer hear the slave driver shout. The small and great there, and the slaves are free from their owners. Why is the light given to those in misery, and life to the bitter of soul, to those who long for death that does not come, who search for it more than for hidden treasures, who are filled with gladness and rejoice when they reach the graves? Why is life given to a man whose way is hidden from God, as hedged in? For singing has become my daily food. My groans pour out like waters. What I fear has come upon me. What I dread has happened to me. I have no peace, no quietness. I have no rest, but only turmoil. And there Job is cursing the day he was born. Well, he was saying, I wish I was never born. I wish I never seen the light of day. And I'm going to end it there because it goes into verse 4. Well, verse 4, chapter 4 is a short one, but I'll end it there because we're almost to the 1 hour mark, 2 hour mark. Yeah, Job is a really good book. I thank you for mentioning that, Brian, that it's bringing stuff back to mind. And of course, Job couldn't change that day he was born, but he wanted to. But then verse 4, 5, 6, or 4 and 5 is where the friends talk to him. Oh, thank you, Brian. God bless you too and your family. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's Job's friends going back and forth. And in the end, they say, curse God and die. But I'll get into that. Maybe we'll finish this, not the whole book of Job, but we'll read maybe 4 more chapters next week. So I want to say, everybody have a blessed week. And pray for me. Like I said, I'm still not 100%. I think I'm coming down with something. Feels like the flu or something. A scratchy throat, and I feel a fever blister coming on. I don't know what's going on with me.
I just feel sick because I have a cough and and I have a cold, and my nose is a little. And my nose
I think
is
Henry
a little
picked up a
clogged.
buggy from school.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when Courtney was going to school. Yes.
Yep.
Hey, Mom.
What, Bubba?
Can you even tell where I am?
Yep.
I remember when Courtney was little, I'm like, she's never been sick before in her life. And the doctor goes, well, how old is she? And I like 5. Well, she went to preschool too, and she wasn't sick. And then all of a sudden she was around other little kids, and you know, you don't think of kids. Yeah,
Gross.
kids are gross. They don't think of germs. I know when I was that little, I didn't think of germs. But Courtney, ever since she became a CNA, she's like a germaphobe. I mean, she don't carry it to the extreme, but you become more aware. Like I'm working
How gross people are.
I'm working in the medical field, and
how gross everything is.
yeah. Yep, I agree. Lulu. Cindy. You know, I got choked up reading that little poem, and I think about Alan and my dad, and it's hard, but we're human, and we're not, you know. Yeah, don't put God in it. Where'd you get this at?
Henry gave it to me.
Don't put God in a box. He wasn't meant to be put in a box. He was meant to. I was watching
I'm too round to fit in a box.
I was watching this Devin Gibson. If you guys don't know, he's really good. He gets on a lot of political stuff, but I was watching him last night, and this guy, I think it's called The Fallen State. He does a YouTube thing, and he was interviewing this priest, and this priest all of a sudden says he's gay, and he wasn't a Catholic priest. He was a Episcopalian or something like that. And the guy goes, "What? You're gay? And you're a priest?" And he wanted to know more. He goes, "Well, tell me about this." And he said, you know, and then the guy finally got up and walked out, and he goes, "Wait, I want to, you know." And it's like, how can you be gay and a priest, and your congregation? And he goes, "Does your congregation know this?" And the guy goes, "Well, absolutely." And it's like, and the guy, like, reviewing the video, he goes, he's sending his congregation straight to hell. I said, "You're right." And then before that, he had another minister, and I'm not saying nothing bad about California, but these were both out in LA. And, oh, that's okay.
Spooky vibes!
Mine's Elvis.
I was totally gonna wear Elvis tonight, and then I was like, no. This is one of my work shirts. I just got new work shirts this week. I got 2 of them that have like ghost and pumpkins on them. They say Spooky Squad, and they've got like medical stuff on them. I got this one, and then I got another one with a ghost. He's holding a bone. It says, "I find this humorous." Love that one.
My calendar.
So my spooky shirts came in, so I figured it's time to bring out the spooky season stuff. The pumpkins and the bats. It's got freaking bats on it.
Where's my calendar?
I don't know.
What's next Saturday?
The 30th, because Friday's the 29th.
30th already?
Yeah, you know what next Friday would have been?
Yeah. Yeah, I found that in my phone. So we're going to say good night. I thank each and every one of you for coming in. I'm so thankful for everybody. Share me out there. I need some watch time hours. Mine were yesterday, Cindy, good night, one of a kind, and I took some some sinus stuff. I got this from sinus congestion and pain. I got that from Dollar Tree, and that helped. But then I don't know, they got me on antibiotic, and I don't think I've been on this. It's Augmentin, and
Thank you.
and it's a generic brand of Augmentin, and it's just not agreeing. My middle daughter said, "Oh, take some probiotics with it." And I'm like, "You mean yogurt?" And she said, "Yeah," and that helped me, but I don't know if that medicine.
Augmentin's a pretty heavy hitter, Mom. It's probably.
Yeah, so I don't know. I called off work last Monday because my tooth was just, and then I called off work Friday, and I told my manager I didn't want to do that, but if you don't feel good, you don't feel good, and if you go into work, I don't like going into work and doing half my job, or not doing it at all, or trying to do it and being in. I mean, I wasn't in pain last night. I just didn't feel right. All right, enough of that. Thank you all for coming in. God bless you all. Go to the church of your choice tomorrow. Have a blessed week. And we'll see you back here next Saturday. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
God bless you all.